Hey guys, this is Lee with the Southeast Region Chapter, and I'm out here getting my recurve dialed in for Wyoming. Got a mule deer hunt in September. General tag. It's actually just a deer tag, so I can actually get whitetail out there as well. So I'm gonna go for muleys, but I'm not gonna pass up a nice whitetail. Shooting in the wind out here a little bit because I'm experimenting with a different fletching, going with shorter little shield cut veins, kind of similar to you'd see on a compound versus the bigger kind of 5 or 4 inch fletching you might see on a recurve. I messed around with that last year, and actually a 2-inch variation with a hard offset and like 250 grains up front along with like a 50 gram insert. So I was doing the whole kind of super heavy up front of center thing, and it works fine. It is what it is. I find it's super noisy, honestly, and it doesn't do all that great in the wind. I find a more balanced arrow that's just heavy in general, and still, still having a lot of weight up front, something around like the 15 to 18% range is a good balance and a good compromise between accuracy and speed and everything like that. Getting real good penetration at all this stuff. Arrows are flying pretty good in the wind. Broadhead this year is actually a Strickland Helix single bevel on the right, and I'm also using hardered offset. I don't know if you can see, but it's a extreme right offset on those fletching too. So combined with the single bevel on that, it'll really turn and be pretty stable. And I think I can get away with these smaller fletchings, which are a little quieter. And if you're ever curious about if right hand bevels are good or single bevels are any good compared to double, I decided to take a shot with one of the broadheads in the target and pulled out a nice chunk down there. That was about 40 yards. So single bevels work pretty good. All in all, it's 200 grains total up front, actually about 205 grains up front. I got a 150 grain broadhead with a 55 gram half out. These are half outs from Easton. They take basically a micro diameter shaft. These are the Black Eagle Deep impacts, and you can then shoot a normal size broadhead in it. So if you like the micro diameter shafts, but you don't want to shoot all the deep six stuff or the specialized kind of broadheads and stuff, just get some of these Easton titanium half outs. Goes probably about that far down, and the rest is up there. Actually makes it pretty stable as well and pretty durable. I've shot some rocks with these and some stumps, and they work well, but they hold up. I actually kind of prefer them over an outsert or over some of the half outserts that kind of protect the collar a little bit. These don't. They are flush with the end, so you still have to square it off after you cut it, but I found that these work just as well. One of the questions I do get asked about shooting a recurve is that, how do you tune it? And a quick answer is you don't tune a recurve bow like you do a compound. You actually tune the arrow to the bow. Yes, you can mess around with brace height and knocking point and a few other things, but for the most part what you're going to do is you're going to mess with the stiffness of the spine on the arrow. When it comes to compound, that's kind of once you get to the fine tuning side and you really want to get it dialed in. For the big jump stuff, you really kind of mess around with the rest and all that other things. For the recurve, you're actually doing, it's pretty set right out of the box as long as you get the brace height kind of ideally in the knocking point pretty close. The manufacturer will have all that kind of what the recommended stuff is. Usually it's somewhere between 7 and 8 inches. But after that, it's really about finding a spine that's going to work and fine-tuning that spine, either cutting the arrow, changing around fletching, or easiest way to do it is just to get every weight grain field point that you can. Get 100, get a 125, 150, and so on and so forth, all the way up. and swap those out and shoot them, starting at about 5 yards, going out to 10 and out to 15 and even out to 20 if you need to. And you'll start to see your nock either go left or go right. In other words, that arrow is not going straight into the target, it's going in at an angle. And that will tell you whether the spine is weak or stiff, and you can go up in weight, you can go down in weight. I typically like to tune mine slightly stiff, so that when with a bare shaft, and that way when I put fletching on the back, it tends to cancel it out and make it shoot pretty flat. All right, guys, if you have any questions for me about recurve stuff or anything else, let me know. We're doing this whole east to west hunt series, and all our guys are doing some great stuff. I know Joshua Watts is doing some stuff on one of his hunts. We got a handful of us that are going out west, and actually one of our guys is going up north to Vermont to hunt whitetail there too. Once I get a little closer to packing, I'm going to do a pack video, gear video, as well as a food video, because I am very picky on my food. I kind of have to be. But one of the biggest things that I hear a lot about is guys, they like to load up on sweets and sugars and fats and different things like that when they're going out in the backcountry, and they've been training all year, they've been doing rucks, they've been doing a bunch of stuff all year to get ready. And I'm like, why are you going to throw away a good healthy diet and everything that you've worked so hard for on that week? So there's no reason to throw away all that prep. There's no reason you can't eat clean when you're out there, and I'll show you how to do that probably in my next video. But until then, if you have any questions again about recurve, about Wyoming, about mule deer, or anything in general, even our chapter, we've got some great guys across this state. If you're interested this fall in hunting Florida, Georgia, Louisiana, Mississippi, or Tennessee, Arkansas, any of our great states, we've got plenty of guys out there who are more than willing to help you. Yeah, we've got everything. So come on out, enjoy us, have fun, and good luck this season. Thanks, guys.